This was the talk of the bins because I'm not really a vintage t-shirt person. We really aren't. Or t-shirt seller or vintage anything. And I happened to get that. And all the vintage t-shirt boys were like, can I get a picture? Can I make a TikTok video with that jacket? Can I? So it was like pretty cool. Hi, I'm Erica.
And I'm Ken.
And we're Dimension the Dot. And this is Cozy. He decided to make a cameo today.
Today we're going to go over like our 10 best sales of the last 90 days. We thought that would be a fun video to share with you. I'm going to start off, and we'll be reading off our phones because we already shipped these items, but we'll go ahead and show you the thumbnails as well. We saw a pair of Doc Martens, kind of like Walking Dead style boots. They're like the high-rise ones. And those sold for $245 plus ship.
Those are so cool. I ended up finding those.
You did.
That was another thing. If you guys seen our last video where I walked in and just found that gold. If not, go back and watch that one. But it was the same kind of thing. We had walked in, the bins had been open a while, and they were just sitting in a shoe bin. And people don't want to pick things up because they're heavy. So keep that in mind. Just because it's heavy, don't pass on it. Look it up.
Yeah, those boots, I marked them up high. I was like, I'll put them up for like $245, and we run sales. So I was like, I'll probably get $150 for them. They sold right away. We get the whole $245, so that was an awesome. And they sold internationally too.
They went to Italy, actually. I remember because I packed them up. So they went to Italy, those boots.
Yeah.
Okay, up next on my account, I have to wear my glasses to see. Okay, now, Ken found this, and this is a vintage Sawyer of Napa Sherpa jacket. And that sold for $100 plus shipping, and that also sold internationally.
So Sawyer of Napa is a great brand to look out for. It's a vintage brand. And as you can see inside the thumbnail, it looks like a lot of other kind of suede Sherpa jackets. So always check the tags. Next up, I found a bunch of these Xerox toner cartridges. And we found them at the bins. You gotta pick these up, toner cartridges, as long as they're not like dirt old, and like super expired. They're gonna go for good money. We sold these a lot of for $290. So
that's a great sale.
That was a great little sale.
Okay, up next on my account. Okay, we sold Currenly men's boots, Black Fire skulls. So you'll see in the thumbnail here that they have skulls and flames all over them, and those sold for $105 plus shipping. And the story behind those is I was standing in front of a bin, a shoe bin, which I don't always like to do the shoe bins because it can be a little aggressive sometimes for me personally. But I told the lady next to me, I just want the cowboy boots. And I ended up finding several pairs that day of these cowboy boots because I just let them know because I want them to know I'm not looking for sneakers. But pick up the boots. Pick up the boots. Look them up.
Yeah.
People don't want them because they're heavy, like I said.
And those would have even sold for more if the color dye, they like had an orange tint to them, wasn't kind of coming, rubbing off.
I think someone might have painted them themselves, like with a shoe dye, but still, they sold like, boom.
And yeah, our buyer purchased those a little while back, and they haven't wanted to return them, so they must be pretty happy. Now the next item I sold was a record, Townes Van Zandt, Our Mother the Mountain Poppy. This was a very rare record. It sold for $175. And I bought a large purchase of records on Facebook Marketplace. I think I spent $400 on these records, but there's quite a few of them. And this was the best record out of the lot. It helped us make, half our money back just on that one record. So that was a very cool find.
Okay, and up next on mine, I sold a Y2K vintage System of a Down jacket. You guys, for $100 plus shipping. This was the talk of the bins because I'm not really a vintage t-shirt person. We really aren't. Or t-shirt seller or vintage anything. And I happened to get that. And all the vintage t-shirt boys were like, can I get a picture? Can I make a TikTok video with that jacket? Can I? So it was like pretty cool. And like a funny backstory is my friend Bobby, back in my 20s, she actually dated Shavo, the lead singer of System of a Down, for I think 3 years or something. So that was kind of cool. Just a little backstory on that. But it was pretty exciting. Really cool thing. It's like a windbreaker. You'll see in the right here.
And I was skeptical about this sale. I thought we would definitely sell it, but I didn't think we would get $100 for it because I saw that there was like almost identical jackets that they just had a newer tag. And I was like, someone's gonna buy the same. They could buy the same one brand new for $35. Why are they gonna buy the vintage one? But they did. Next up on my account, it's a John Paul Gaultier mesh top, and Erica will tell you the story on this one. It sold for $150.
Oh, okay. Well, that one I should probably. So this is a special. It'll be right here. You'll see it. But it is the Circus Olay version of this. Soleil. It's the Soleil version. So that's the swimwear line. And
I don't think it was Circus, though.
It wasn't Circus. My mistake's just Soleil. And it was this line he put out in the late 90s. And again, I was gifted that shirt by my very good friend Ace, who, again, we will link his Instagram. We'll link his Instagram right here. Also, we'll put his Instagram handle here and also down in the description because he has some beautiful, beautiful vintage items and he's really good at what he does. So yeah, go check him out on his Instagram page. But that's what happened with that, and it was such a nice thing, and that he did that for us.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell by the picture, but it's like a sheer, like kind of shirt, real lightweight.
It's mesh.
It cost us less than $1, so it's a nice $150 flip.
Okay, and then next on my account, here we go again with me in the shoe bin. Like I said, I don't look for sneakers or anything. I found in the back of the bin, after everyone had already been digging through it, vintage 1953 Gucci loafers. They'll be here. Those sold for $95 plus shipping. So that was an awesome find and awesome sale. That bin had been gone through I don't know how long, and I was just in there looking around. We try to stay really busy at the bins. We don't really like hang out or on the wall or sit down or anything like that. We just continually keep redigging when we're waiting for new product to come out. And that's how sometimes we come across these things. So don't give up easy. Continually, just keep looking because some people are in a really rush or they don't have the patience to stand there and do it. And I promise you will get rewarded for your patience.
Well, we're all in a rush when the stuff first comes out.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, there's a time to be in a rush and a time when you got a little bit more time to dig, and we do well in the redigs. The next thing I found was not on a redig. It was right there when they rolled it out, and I thought, like, what is that? And it was actually a doll case with a vintage doll inside the case with a whole bunch of vintage doll clothes. And it was a MME Alexander. I think we showed that to you in one of our previous haul videos.
We did.
Yeah. Now that it sold for $100 plus ship. I tried to put it on auction for $150, and there was a bunch of watchers but no takers. So I was like, I'll go ahead and list it for $150, and then I'll take an offer. And pretty quickly afterwards, a day or two, I got the $100 offer. And I was like, that's fine. We'll take $100 for that.
Okay, next up on my account here, I sold an Infinity 1600A 600 watt Classic D. Sorry, guys. Monoblock car audio amplifier 8038.
That's basically an amplifier for a subwoofer. It's mono, so it's just doesn't have the stereo. It's just going to give you that one woof kind of sound.
And that sold for $80.96 plus shipping. Now, the story behind that is we live in Houston, and we were actually at another place that we source at sometimes called Family Thrift Outlet. And we were driving, and all of a sudden, Ken was driving, all of a sudden, we were caught in a downpour. Like, I mean, if you know, you know. If you haven't been in those, it can be pretty crazy. All of a sudden, we were in a lake. The road turned into a lake, and my car was totaled. So
the thing you don't want to do
yes.
when you're in that situation is brake. But unfortunately, the cars in front of me had already stalled, and there was nowhere to kind of go.
Well, then our engine stalled.
Well,
and
yeah.
So the other thing you don't want to do on that, and I learned this from our mechanic, do not try to start your engine. Just leave your car there, wait for help, call a tow truck. Do not turn the engine over. Then it will flood your engine and your car will be worthless. So I had the mechanic take all my amplifiers and things out, and I said, hey, let's put it on eBay.
Right. So luckily we had insurance on that, and
you want to do a couple more for him?
I'll do a couple more.
I got some interesting stuff on here.
I got a record that sold for $100 as well. This one was a Fallout Boy, and it was a tie-dye variant. The record was Infinity on High. And yeah, so be on the lookout. Another bin's fine, probably paid $1. No, we pay 50 cents for media now. So pay 50 cents for it, and it sold for $100, 200% profit on that one. Pretty awesome. Well, minus fees and everything.
Okay, next up, this is one that Ken is going to need to talk about, and I will let him go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, so the 6pence, I don't know if we showed this to you, but we just picked this up also at the bids. It's a 45 RPM, and it had a unique label on it, so I looked it up. And that's what I would do if you find 45 and the record label is something you never heard of. Look it up on Discogs, look it up on eBay. This one was not available on eBay because it's a rare record, but it was on Discogs. And it sold for $85 plus shipping. So another 50-cent flip into $85. And we find these often enough, in the last 90 days in terms of, big dollar records. We found that Fallout Boy for $100. We found that one for $85. And there's a ton more of, $25, $30, $10, $15, $40 records as well. But yeah, those are kind of the best sales that we have had.
I was going to do one more.
Yeah, you go ahead and do one more.
One more. Sure. Because this is something you guys should be on the lookout for, and I'm not sure if we've talked about it in a haul or we haven't, but I want to discuss it. So we sold Denim and Supply Ralph Lauren camo pants, and it'll be right here. They have the American flag on the leg, as you can see in the picture. Those sold for $70 plus $11 shipping. Ken found those at the bins. So be on the lookout for Ralph Lauren Denim and Supply. Pick it up. Don't worry about the style. Don't worry about anything. It's gonna sell. It is. Be on the lookout. You find that, you get it.
There's certain more desirable pieces like that are gonna sell for more money and quicker. But in a general rule, we've sold some real basic shirts that are Denim and Supply for $15-20, and they sold eventually. Within 90 days, they tend to sell for us. So yeah, that piece we sold for $70. I've seen sold comps for over $100 for it. We took the offer. Sure. That's kind of how we do business. As you see, we source really cheap, and if it seems like a decent profit, I believe in taking offers. Reasonable offers are taken. our store. So yeah, thanks for sticking around with this video. Those are the best sales that we've had in the past 90 days. Hopefully next time we show you the best sales we've had in 90 days, which will be at the end of the year. We'll have some even better sales to show.
And also, hopefully this video motivates you to be on the lookout for kind of some obscure things or things you wouldn't think there would be, you would think that would sell. And also, just take the time to go back and look again, you know, because people miss stuff all the time. And with that being said, if you like our content, if you like hanging out with us, hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment. Let us know the most expensive sale you've had in the last 90 days. We'd love to hear it.
You don't always have to pay up to get those great sales. As you saw, everything that we showed you, we got from the bins, aside from the record that we sold for $175. And I bought all those records for less than a quarter a piece in a huge lot.
Well, the record and the amp.
Oh, and
the amp came out of my car.
Sure.
I owned the car since 2013, so
right.
It was basically free at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, thanks for joining us. Have a great...
We'll see you next time.